Well, the hallmark of industrialization, the hallmark of development has been and most likely will always be how structures are built, the way they are built, when they are built, and to what purpose. Welcome. This is Hello Port Harcourt. My name is Jude. Our final conversation is one that bears very deeply, particularly to those of us who are resident here in the Niger Delta, particularly Port Harcourt right now. We'll be talking about that as well as a narrow down to the Port Harcourt and maybe generally the rivers metropolis, or rather the rivers community, the river state in general. It has to do, rather sadly and vexingly, with vandalism. Yes, vandalism. We all, one way or the other in this country, we've had an experience with vandalism. Now, in recent times, railroad tracks and slippers have been vandalized in many parts of Nasarawa State and also in the west as well, which made the police to launch a manhunt for those responsible. Now, when this story broke out months ago, and we're hearing that individuals were now vandalizing railway installations, I was apart from being vexed, I was shocked. What exactly was their aim? Why would they want to do that? To what purpose? But then the conversation is not just restricted to just railway lines, but like I said, vandalism in general. Oil and gas installations have been vandalized in this country, particularly in the Niger Delta. And some would tell you, okay, maybe it's for political reasons, maybe the individuals there, the agitators, whomever they were doing so to pass points or pointers to the government to address pertinent issues. But as I look back, and as we have this conversation, I need to remind you that whenever those installations were vandalized, who exactly suffered at the end? Yes, the economic strain was felt by the general public, talking about the country as regarding our resources and revenue, but the environment there too was damaged, particularly when we talk about oil installations. But now let's narrow it back home to our various streets, our various communities. One of the biggest and most embarrassing things I had to talk about with the then former, or rather the then PRO for PhD, Mr. John Oyi, a few years ago, about 3 years ago, was that a lot of PhD installations were being vandalized. So you have poles, transformers. I grew up knowing, very sadly, that in this country, some individuals, some community people can be angry and decide that, you know what, I am going to remove the cutout fuse in that transformer, or I'm going to remove the cable, armored cable. I'm going to remove it. I'm angry. Or in some other instances, the coils for the transformers would be taken. And maybe when you have a riot, you have people who would actually damage this installation. They won't take them. They'll just, use sticks and stones and damage installations, vandalize equipment, buses, burn them down. Now, one of my earliest experiences with the protest and discussions about this was in secondary school. And my principal then, the Catholic priest, made mention to us when we were much younger and said, look, if you destroy what you are not happy with, you would have to spend the money you'd have used to improve, to not just replace, right, but to also protect. So why don't you spend less money in protecting and improving? That doesn't seem to come to a lot of individuals on the sub level when you're in your own space. So 2 weeks ago, the anti-kidnapping units, and though I'm shocked they were involved, in Nasarawa State Police Command, right, arrested 2 suspects for allegedly vandalizing railway slippers and attempting to bribe officers of that unit with a sum of 160,000 naira. Now, this is where our conversation is going to be hinged upon. So, One of the suspects explained, and I'm quoting this from the Punch newspaper now. I'm quoting him now. This is his comment. He said, "I'm a businessman who sells food items. I heard that there are many companies in Ogun State that buy vandalized items because that was where we were taking them to before the police arrested us. I actually thought they were scrap iron. That is why I got myself involved in this mess. This is my first time engaging in this act, and I really regret my action." So, the scavengers have also been finger pointed. Remember, we had a conversation about manhole covers. The scavengers have also been finger pointed in removing some installations, talking about manhole covers. Some even say they go as far as removing the metal handles of certain doors or certain public installations. But it's not just them. Like I made mention, the power lines, for example, that were vandalized, armored cables. I remember growing up, embarrassingly, so people used to steal them. My question then, until now, is this: why? Where is the market? Because if there is no market, you won't have people who will try to do these actions. So who are these people who will want to buy stolen items? How would someone, in all honesty, sit down? Let's be very honest now as we're talking to ourselves. You get to hear people talk about armored cables as what do they call them? Railway lines now, transformer cables, transformer coils, even the entire transformer. There was a community when I was in Benin one time that reported that the entire transformer was stolen. How do you steal an entire transformer? How? Why? So, how should vandalism be checked in the Niger Delta? We've heard of groups meet with the federal government in the past so that they become pipeline monitoring committees. Remember, how many of you remember that? So that was in place. But what about the other communities? What about the other installations? Groups, PHED, have come forward to ask the people, the community, please do not vandalize these installations. Recently, we also had the governor of Rivers State say, please, those of you in this community, don't vandalize the roads. Don't bring disrepute to your community. Why do these actions of vandalism still persist in parts of Port Harcourt and in the Niger Delta? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, and then the female caller line is 0817-923-0009. WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. And you can join us via Facebook at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH, looking at vandalization, vandalism in the Niger Delta in particular. It's a very worrying trend. We've heard of installations for years and years being abused, being attacked, vandalized, items taken. The question is, where is the market for these things? Why? How do we checkmate this action and the activities of these individuals? Whether we like it or not, we are all directly impacted, some would say negatively, by this. So those of you who don't have power in your communities, what did you do?
I'm calling in respect of the issue of vandalism.
Yes, welcome, Cheta. We can hear you. Good morning.
Okay, basically, most especially on this Transamadi Road, you discover that most of the manholes, okay, have been removed on the street. These are encouraging to slaughter. You know, you have cases of these Aboki guys that push this wheelbarrow kind of thing.
Scavengers.
At night, you see them removing these manholes from their places. You know, so I think the government and also the policemen should also do something about it.
All right, the government and the policemen should do something about that. Those who are removing manhole covers, that's pretty clear to everybody. But it's not just manhole covers they remove. Now, if you listen to the comment of one of the suspects who was arrested in Nasarawa, he assumed that they were taking scrap iron. Now, my question is, there is a business for this. If there is no business, you won't have supply. If there's no demand, they won't have supply. So now that there's a demand, how then does the supply have to get to public installations? Why vandalize public installations? 92.3, good morning.
Yeah, Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please. Welcome.
It's Peter Guy calling from Ahoda.
Welcome.
Jude, honestly speaking, I don't really understand why this vandalism will be going on within our business. Like in my yard, there was a young guy who also faced NEPA bill with me. He discovered that he was the one that removed the cable and connected. Why?
He removed the cable.
I'm telling you, can you believe it? And who are those people buying this cable from there? I just don't. I can't even. They even tamper with transformers. I'm knowing too fully well that this is our major problem. I mean, we need reorientation. Honestly speaking.
Well, like you said, personally, if I'm honest, it also befuddles my imagination. Who exactly are those who would, for example, want to buy a transformer?
A transformer, all those things.
Yeah.
The security personnel, are they not aware of all this grotto activity to checkmate them at most? At least we have CIDs those days to investigate all these young boys. And they're everywhere. It's everywhere. I don't know what is going to be the future of this kind. Okay?
All right, so how exactly do we checkmate vandalism? Like I said, it's not just rail lines. Rail lines are the trend right now. But like I said, power installations, even water installations. Now let's explain, or let's be honest and to see how deep this problem is. Now, growing up in Port Harcourt, I knew some valves, some big valves, of some pipes, water pipes, because we used to go out to fetch water in parts of Port Harcourt. We didn't have water back in the Lekai housing estate when I grew up. At one point in time, we did not have. We used to buy water. Now, growing up, I remember knowing that there were some communities, in Oginigba, for example, where there was a public tap, and then maybe a few weeks later, you will come back and you will find out that somebody has removed the tap head. There's a difference when the tap head is faulty, it's bad. Sometimes you turn the tap, whether it's the hinge form or the knob form, you turn the tap and maybe it doesn't close. But this time around, somebody went there, purposefully removed the tap head, the bulkhead. Why? So now you've removed it. Let's assume you want to put it in your village. So you've removed it. Now that entire area, that entire street is now being flooded by water that people like us then were looking for. Zion is in GRA. Good morning, Zion.
Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning.
There are factors that surround this activity in this part of the world. Vandalism, this issue has been with us for years. And whenever this action is taken, the inference is a metal object which they are looking for. The metal object. How come we have not gotten a legal framework to monitor and regulate the movement of scrap materials in this country?
Okay, that's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion.
On daily basis, trucks in their numbers, you will see them conveying this material from one point to another. On daily basis, you see the scavengers moving from one location to another, even going into forbidden environments, sacred environments. They even go to our shrines and pick up these materials. How come there have never been a monitoring team through a legal framework where they are shipping these materials to, and what are the end products of these materials? As long as we feel less confined, no matter and scrap now, brother, they will keep scrapping everything close to them. My very good friend JJ will always give a parable that said that picking way mama sent to any picking way will armor, everything for an eye and a nail. As long as these guys are moving up and down, they keep metallizing, vandalizing, and you can't do them anything. Look at the railway they cut off. Do you want to tell me there are no power system there? The railways are not working because they look at it that nobody's monitoring us. Let us just ship these things away from here.
Okay.
Who want to drive railway? Are you entering railway? This is how this conversation starts from.
Zion, let's talk. I'm going to give you a minute now before I get to our next call. Let's talk about us here in the Niger Delta, our brothers and our cousins who were vandalizing pipelines, who still vandalize pipelines, who still vandalize power installations, who go around mysteriously and remove people's power lines. Where exactly is the market, and why is it being supplied? What exactly is the problem? Why are we doing this to ourselves?
These materials, especially the metals, they use them to mold local ports. Some of them, our other, should I call them our neighbors from China, they have a serious production. They use these materials in producing. I'm telling you the truth. No, the ones from our own brothers now that are into the pipeline stuff, of course, you know now, is for them to run their own pipe, take it to the ocean and start selling on their own.
Really?
So we already are, yes, now. We have a category. We know our own problem. We know how to handle our own coming to pipeline vandalism.
So
but this other one,
how do we handle our
materials.
How do we handle it? Because it's affecting all of us, directly or indirectly. Whenever pipelines are vandalized and there are leaks, the environment suffers, pollution suffers.
That is why we are calling for the monitoring and the total implementation of the Local Content Act. Give them the opportunity to monitor this thing and produce this thing. They will not vandalize it, they will protect it. They talk about this smaller refinery stuff. How they will call it? Modular. How long are they telling about modular refinery? And if they don't do something to it, the time will come. People want to go and see where is this modular refinery. People, you won't tell them, oh, it's on the pipeline. Job is on the pipeline. Employment on the pipeline. The people started busting the pipe looking for that employment. Now they are waiting for the so-called short refinery. They have not seen it. We, the government, is the problem. We take serious matters so lackadaisically, and these guys will be so angry, try to vandalize everything, subdue and subject us back to 01. Let me stop here for others to contribute, Mr. Zion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zion. Hello, good morning. Okay, all right, let's get here now. Messages coming in now. Vandalism has been a major thing in Nigeria. This is because the people in this business, most times, are the workers there. A normal man cannot just go to a transformer and start removing wires or cables or even the entire transformer without a place to sell. That's my biggest challenge. Where and whom exactly do they sell these things to? Most of the buyers of these vandalized items are top workers in these sectors. In my location here in Port Harcourt, they always steal our transformer for you. They carry the whole transformer.